to good friends, the ones we hold dear, the ones who will tell us what we need to hear, the ones who love us right or wrong, and to all those good friends that give you this song.
Well, hello, good friends, and welcome back to The Last Walk, Remember When, with your host, Ron Baumbach. And today, we're going back in time again to the fun times. So get up, get off your easy chair, walk over to your icebox, reach way in the back, take out an orange crush, open it up, get that tall glass filled with ice, sizzle and fizzle as you pour it in the glass. It tickles your nose. And reach up into the cupboard. Take out a nice clock bar. Unwrap it. Sit back in your easy chair. Turn on your lava lamp. Close your eyes. Get ready. It's storytelling time. The Last Walk is back.
Oh, I've been so lucky and I've been so blessed. In spite of my failings, I've found success. For I've known love and I've known good times, and I have known friendship and written some rhymes. I wonder if he's changed since I saw him last December. I wonder if he'll know me, I'm so tall. I brought along his picture to make sure that I'd remember. It's been nearly half a year now, after all. Winter is a cold time, and snow is on the ground. Fall is when the leaves fall from the tree. Springtime is a good time, school is out at last, and summertime is time for Dad and me. Oh, I wonder if he knows that I can get up in the morning fix us both a breakfast by myself. How I can ride my bike alone and almost always catch the ball. And I can read most any book that's on the shelf. Winter is a cold time when snow is on the ground, and fall is when the leaves fall from the tree. Springtime is a good time, 'cause school is out at last. But summertime is time for Dad and me.
The beautiful song Dad and Me by John McCutcheon. I love that song and I love the meaning behind it. And I think back to wishing my dad was still here. I think he's been gone for over 30 years, since 1992. I think back to being on a park bench when I was like a mere 10-year-old. When he pulled over to the side of the road, we sat on the bench, had a picture of us taken together. How I wish he was still around. I think my father-in-law and the things he taught me, and all the men in our lives, what they mean to us on Father's Day. My mother's older brother, John, who was a father figure for many in the family. The letters that meant so much to them when my mom and dad first got married. My mom would read the letters to us when we were young children. Beautiful, tender notes of love and admiration and advice from her brother John. And I think of my own 4 boys, the wonderful fathers they have become. And I could have learned so much from them. And I think that my fifth part series in this, my back operation. And besides my dad and the people in my life, such as my brothers Jerry and Dick, 2 people I met during that time, Hank White and Father Moynihan, One was a roommate and one was a priest in the church, in the hospital back then, the chaplain, and what they meant to me. We'll go into that more during this show today.
Oh, I know that he gets lonely when he's feeling down. I can't always find a way to make him smile. I let him tell me stories and tuck me in at night, and it's good I'm gonna be here for a while. Just like every summer, I'm riding on this train, wondering how my summer's gonna be. I wonder if he's happy, and I wonder if he's scared, and I wonder if he wonders just like me. I know that winter is a cold time, snow is on the ground, and fall is when the leaves fall from the tree. And springtime is a good time, 'cause school is out at last. And summertime is time for Dad and me. Summertime is time for Dad and me.
Friends, we've been doing a multi-part series about the saga of my back. You see, back in 1964 and 65, I spent about 6 months on my back in a hospital bed in St. Charles Hospital, a great place out in Port Jefferson, Long Island, New York, for a thing called scoliosis, curvature of the spine, which was discovered by a Robert Hall salesman, and a number of doctors then did a number of great things to get my back much better. It was an incredible, interesting ordeal, but a lot of fun-filled things with some great memories, many of which made me who I am today. And I'm very thankful to my family and the doctors and the staff and my friends and everybody who helped me throughout this wonderful time in my life. Sounds kind of funny saying wonderful time in my life, but it truly was. I got to meet a number of really nice people, got to know a different side of life. And basically, over the course of my time in the hospital, my number of roommates totaled 25. Many became distant memories. A few memories lasted for a long time. One fellow was a minor league baseball player who was a teammate of Mickey Mantle's. I really enjoyed this guy's stories. We only shared a room for about 4 or 5 days, but this guy was about maybe 50, 60 years old. I forget his age, but he had stories about the Mick and about baseball back in the old days when he played in the minor leagues. Don't know where it was, maybe Columbus, but it was way back when. And then there was a man named Hank White. Now, Hank was somewhat of a cantankerous gentleman of about 65, who I learned was in for a routine operation. Hank didn't have much of a family and didn't really want to talk to the nurses. He wanted to talk to nobody, but for some odd reason, he would only speak to me. He would lay in bed, I lay in my bed, about 10 feet apart, and we would talk about life and about things happening, and if he needed a pill, needed some pain medication, he'd ask me to call the nurses. When the nurses would come in, he wouldn't talk to them, he'd turn to me, I would tell the nurse what Hank's problem was. This would go on for days and days. Probably about a week we were in the room together. It was very strange and surreal in a way. This man trusted me with basically being his voice to the nurses. I knew we could talk. Everyone knew we could talk. But he would not discuss anything with anyone else except me.
lot like you were. Oh man, look at my life, I'm a lot like you were. Old man, look at my life, 24 and there's so much more. Live alone in a paradise that makes me think of two. Love lost, such a cost. Give me things that don't get lost, like a coin that won't get tossed, rolling home to you. I'm a lot like you. I need someone to love me the whole day through. One look in my eyes and you can tell that's true. Lullabies, look in your eyes, run around the same old town. Doesn't mean that much to me, to mean that much to you. I've been first and last, look at how the time goes past. But I'm all alone at last, rolling home to you.
Now one day as Hank laid in bed, I noticed strange gurgling sounds coming from him. It was really frightening. I had no idea what was going on. I rang the nurse's button and yelled for help. They came running in and took him away. Days later, he returned again to the bed next to me. But the only problem was, he actually could no longer speak. Hank had had a stroke, and Hank lost the ability to speak even to me. Now Hank continued his uncooperative ways with the nurses and the staff whenever they tried to care for him. It was painful for them as they tried so hard to basically work with him and help him, but he ignored their request. I started talking to Hank when the nurses were there and they went out of the room, and I tried to reason with him, me talking and Hank listening. He responded with his eyes. I then became his ears and his voice. In a weird sense, we could relate to each other. And the nurses would ask me to ask the questions to Hank. Here I am 15 years old, a man 50 years my elder. We had a bond. Hank and I, basically, me being his voice and his ears, and just talking for him and letting people know from what he told me through the look in his eyes. It was unbelievable. I would ask Hank. He would visually respond back to me, look at the nurses. Nurses took note and tended to his care. I felt so truly special that I was indeed helping my good friend Hank. We were only together about 2 weeks maybe, but we had a bond. The two of us could, when he was talking, we would talk about everything about life. It was amazing the faith I had in this man